Hi, welcome to the channel, and for those of you not aware, the month of February over on Kickstarter is ZineQuest. This is an opportunity of smaller creators to post their zines up onto Kickstarter, and they'll get a little bit of promotion. So what I'm going to try and do over on my second channel, so here during this month, is try and cover as many projects as I can. And today I'm just going to start with the first one, because this is one that I've happened to be sent, which is Dungeon Death. This is a 16-bit inspired Jumanji, Ready Player One sort of world where the players, young kids really, have been sort of dragged into this world. And yeah, so let me just show you the Kickstarter page. So here we have the Kickstarter page. We've currently got, say, 65 projects on the Kickstarter page. I'm going to try and cover as many of these as I can to try and help promote people. Sort of like, see, this the Dark Space have got one on here as well. And there's a Pirate Borg one here. So here we have Dungeon Death. So it's already funded, so it's 133% funding on here. And I will go through, because I've been sent this, I'll be able to go through the rule book and show you what's included. You can see this looks like was it Nintendo or Super Nintendo cartridge? I can't quite remember. I was more of a Sega man than a Nintendo man. Please don't hold that against me. So we've got so it's just under £2,000, so it was $2,600 of the 2,000 gold, 28 days to go, 103 backers. So we've got, there's something different in the air tonight. While browsing the Surf Coast video, you discover a game no one's ever played before, Dungeon Death. Curious? You pop the cartridge into your Mega Extreme Power System 32. At first, nothing happens. Then, in a flash, an intense neon burst of light from screen binds you, and then your vision returns and you'll find yourself in a pitch dark room. You're likely to be eaten. So it's a 24-page, obviously Shadowdark size zine in here. So you've got a preview you can click in here. I'm going to show you the pretty much full book, obviously with my face in the way as well. So we've got a new class, the Gamer, which has got this really cool glove that when it kills things, it's going to take the powers. We've got some new Ancestries in here, new background, a new mode. So that's a new game mode right at the end. Connection. Then we've got a sort of, is it a point crawl? I think it'll be called at the end in here. So the artwork is amazing. Say Josh Yoda, I think. Yoda, maybe. It's not going to be Yoda, is it? Maybe. That's how I'd pronounce it, if that was my name. Is the writer and layout. And then we've got Tiger Wizard here is the artist. And Craig Langral, or Doc Webb, who is the editor. So I think that's enough. I say I'll put the video, I'll put the link to this in the video. But let me just let's just go through the book itself. As you can see, artwork beautiful. It's wonderfully inspired by that. You know, it's got that 16-bit sort of late mid-90s kind of art feel to it. And this nun in stockings and boots. Okay, appreciate that. We'll go with that. So it comes in. So this is so it's 26 pages. It's going to come out. So we've got the writing editor in here. So we've got going into contents. We've got Ancestries, new backgrounds, connections, one gamer class, the assuming magic items, some monsters specific to this world, the dungeon, and then one sort of game mode. But I think we've covered the background. So the year is 1990X. Pick whatever year that you want during that term, and you're just going to put this game into your console. You're going to get teleported, Jumanji, Tron style, say Ready Player One, that sort of thing. From character creation, you can create any character that you want, as long as you are. So you can either use the backgrounds and the Ancestries from this book. From a class point of view, it pretty much says you can use anything from the Shadowdark core rulebook, page 18 of this book, which is the gamer class, or any other third-party material. So you can pretty much pick what you want. Backgrounds, D20. I think we're used to seeing this from a Shadowdark point of view, but you can be a mini golf keeper. You know, this is all sort of type arcade, type teenage job point of view. You know, pizza delivery, car washer, bikini car wash. Ruined by Peter Griffin and Homer Simpson. Okay, so we've got 7 new Ancestries to play. So we've got the band kid. This is, you know, we were all there, weren't we, in the sort of early 90s in your school band. Our band was called Coma because cheery name for a band. But it's a band kid. You know common language, but you're going to get the march on ability. Inspire an ally once per day and get a D4 on any roll. You can play a bully. It's going to give you an advantage on intimidation. The jock, advantage on a strength check once per day. The nerd, smarty pants, +1 intelligence, saves checks, analyze traps and monsters. The outsider, advantage on checks to hide. The popular kid, advantage on NPCs and reaction rolls. Or the theatre kid, you can mimic sounds and mannerisms of any humans, creatures or monsters. That's quite a cool one. That's going to come in quite handy. Say any class that you want from any of the books, all this. So the gamer class, really like this. This is really interesting. So you get the glove of power. So you've beaten every game, but now you're armed with the ability to steal enemies' powers. You face the ultimate challenge. We're losing. You're going to get club, crossbow, dagger, mace or staff. From armor, leather armor, mithril chainmail. Okay, only 2 D6 hit points. But you're going to get this glove of power. You can store special abilities enemies use against you in your glove of power. Okay, so after an enemy is defeated, that you don't have to defeat it, I guess you just have to be nearby, you can attempt to absorb the remarkable talent or life energy. Storing it in your glove of power, make a DC 10 save at the level of the enemy intelligence check. So if you pass that, you can take its special talent. You can store up to 3 of these powers, which can be used to activate at any stage or grant you 1d6 hit points to yourself or an ally. Once the power is used, it's expended. So on a success, so you're still going to make your DC 10 save plus against plus the level of the creature. But on a success, you get to activate the ability. On a crit, it gets to double. Failure, that power fails and it's lost. On a fumble, power up fails, it's a loss, and you're going to roll on the magical mishap table. So we've got some talents here as the characters are going to level up, an ability to do more enemy absorb more enemy talents or take more power ups, which is quite cool. Loving the artwork on this as well. We've got some connections, so if you want to make sure everyone's friends in the party, we've got your old 2d6 and find out how they got together, stick up for a bully, dated briefly. If you roll double one, be careful of that one. Make sure the players are comfortable with that because, inter-player relationship can cause, not everyone's comfortable with that. That's probably the only one that I'd make sure that, the players are comfortable. We've got 8 unique creatures in here. Go on up to Pork Warlord, which is the main sort of bad guy right at the end of the sort of mini dungeon that's in here. But I'm not going to really spoil any of them. I'm just going to talk about this blue stalker that's quite cool. So an eye being howled up by 8 spider legs leaping from the darkness. It's a level 1 creature, so it's quite happy to talk about that. But it's going to do these leaping strikes, can leap up to nearest part of its move. If it ends close to a target after leaping, it deals 1d6 damage. So it's automatically going to do damage if it's jumping in. But yes, we've got 8 new creatures in here. 8 new magic items that because the dungeon's pretty much full of, it's quite a lot of treasure and traps and monsters and random monsters in here. So as you can see, sort of all 8 in there. I think, if I remember, all of the creatures are just the creatures in this book as well, which is quite nice. But let's just have a look at the Sword Master here. Once given a lone warrior, an ancient sage in a cave, the sword hums with radiant energy. It's a +1 sword, but it may be used to do 1d6 damage to enemies in far. This attack functions as a ranged attack. Mushroom of Growth, very much 80s Mario kind of sound. Vampire Slayer's Whip. We've got the Fork of the Blue Wizard. Reigns of the Ostrich, briefs the ghoul slaying, so warned by the nearly naked knight who famously ventured into the realms full of ghouls and ghosts. Ghouls and Ghosts, great game, spent hours playing that. Allows the wearer to choose to lose all gear, weapons, armor, treasure and equipment instead of taking damage. Just love it. Shred all your clothes. That's what happened in the game, wasn't it? Now I remember, I was thinking that it used to hit your armor and instead of dying, your armor used to pop off. That is why it sounded familiar as I was going through that. We've got a black wizard's hat and a ghost touch cherries. So we're again going to get into the venture, which I don't want to spoil because it's quite a small little dungeon. There's only sort of 6 rooms in it, but you're going to get into room 1. But so I'll cover the synopsis. I think that's fair enough. The PCs are transported to a dungeon below Pork of the Warlord's Keep. Here they must fight deadly traps, solve the mysteries of the wailing statues, slay vigilant for Gru, hunting in the dark, eventually confronting Pork himself, infused by the power he siphons from the shards of the crystal harmony. Okay, we've got a random encounter table. You're going to have 1 in 6 chance where the doors and things are going to be trapped. and it's going to be pitch black in there. So you've got 6 little rooms that I'm just going to skip past, and then you're just going to get, here we go, here's the little map of it, but I'm not really covering anything in there. And then we've got a new game mode here, so the players can start with 3 lives. When reduced to 0 hit points, they lose life. You respawn after the fight. All of the death and dying effects apply. Gain lives by defeating bosses, puzzles, and dungeon encounters. If all lives are lost, you die. And then you've got wall food. You can search a dungeon walls and barrels for food you heal. Only food found in the dungeon walls or barrels can heal this way. So you can roll a d6. On a 6, you're going to get some food. 1 random encounter. 2 to 5, nothing happens. And that is your little zine. And I love it. I really love the idea of what's going on in here. So it's a 6-place dungeon. I don't know how many more of these sort of little zines are going to be that sort of small inspired little dungeons, but it's really good. I'll be honest. I have never watched Jumanji. And I think people are going to be, the comments going, have you never watched? I've never watched any of the Jumanjis. It's the 2 or 3 films. Obviously, the original Robin Williams ones. Loved Ready Player One. It was a really good idea. It was to the extent where I thought I'd probably get around to reading the books. But I haven't got time to read, not with this channel and reading role-playing books. But it's a really good little theme. The fact that you're playing in an arcade, or you're just playing with your friends at home, and you just all get pulled in. You've got those little sort of kiddie backgrounds. The new Ancestries, which is really interesting. That new class, the ability to take the talent from a creature. So I didn't go through the creature and the monsters in there because you don't really want to spoil what power and ability you can take. The fact that it's a skill, is behind a skill check, I think is good because it will help keep it balanced. Because the ability to just take any power from any creature and then power it back it's a really good idea. Obviously it's going to be a little bit harder because you have got that sort of in check behind it, but great little zine, really good. Going back this, I say I will try and get more zines done. I say I've got a few that I've already got, so I can easily do the videos for these. But yeah, if you've got something on ZineQuest and you want me to try and cover it, please make sure it's a system that I know and like. That's probably the only thing I'm going to say, because if I've got to learn a brand new system, I might not be able to give your zine the full excitement if I'm excited by it. So, Shadowdark, I'm going to be excited. Mortborg, any of the Borgs and stuff like that. It's a nice safe system for me because I'm going to do additional reading. But yeah, I'm going to try and do as many of these as I can. And as ever, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe to my main channel, Dungeons and Dyslexia. And enjoy the rest of ZineQuest. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.